Imagine winning the lottery. That one ticket, clutched in your hand, suddenly worth millions. It's the ultimate dream, a fantasy of financial freedom, right? But what if that dream ticket was actually a ticket to a nightmare? A fast track to ruin, despair, and losing it all. Today, we're diving into the dark side of sudden wealth, exploring the shocking stories of lottery winners who had it all and then lost everything. This isn't just about bad luck, it's about the very real curse of the lottery. Our first story begins with William Bud Post. In 1988, Bud was living a modest life, working odd jobs and getting by on disability payments. His bank account held just $2.46. Then, he won the Pennsylvania lottery. A staggering $16.2 million. His life was set to change forever, but not in the way anyone would have hoped. The problem started almost immediately. His former girlfriend sued him for a share of the winnings, claiming they had agreed to split the prize. The legal battle was long and draining, both emotionally and financially. But that was just the beginning. His own brother, in a chilling turn of events, hired a hitman to have him killed, hoping to inherit the remaining fortune. The plot failed, but the betrayal was absolute. Bud, overwhelmed and lacking financial knowledge, started spending wildly. He bought a restaurant, a used car lot, and even an airplane, despite not knowing how to fly it. These ventures quickly failed, sinking more of his money. He lent money to family, made poor investments, and fell deeper into debt. Within just a few years, the $16 million man was $1 million in debt. He declared bankruptcy and eventually ended up living on a small stipend, a fraction of his former wealth. "I was much happier when I was broke," he famously said before he passed away. His story is a chilling reminder that money can't buy happiness, and it certainly can't fix broken relationships. Next, we look at the tragic tale of Evelyn Adams. In an incredible stroke of luck, Evelyn won the New Jersey lottery not once, but twice, in 1985 and 1986. Her total winnings amounted to $5.4 million. She was on top of the world. She paid off her bills, bought a new car, and generously gave money to friends and family. Everyone, it seemed, had their hand out. Evelyn described the experience as overwhelming. Strangers would follow her, camp outside her house, and relentlessly ask for a piece of her fortune. The pressure was immense and unending. Seeking an escape and perhaps a thrill, she developed a powerful addiction to slot machines in Atlantic City. She would spend hours, and thousands of dollars, feeding the machines, chasing a high that her lottery win could no longer provide. She also made a series of poor business decisions and gave away too much of her money without a plan. The combination of unchecked generosity, relentless requests, and a spiraling addiction was a perfect storm for financial disaster. By the early 2000s, all the money was gone. The woman who had won millions, twice, found herself living in a trailer, completely broke. Evelyn's story highlights the immense social pressure and the personal demons that can be unleashed by a sudden, massive influx of cash. She wasn't a bad person, she was simply unprepared for the psychological burden that came with her incredible luck. The very thing that was supposed to solve all her problems became the source of her greatest downfall. Our final case study is that of Michael Carroll, who became known in the British tabloids as the Lotto Lout. In 2002, at just 19 years old, Michael won nearly £10 million on the UK's national lottery. At the time, he was working as a sanitation worker. The sudden wealth was a radical shift from his everyday life, and he embraced it with a wild, unrestrained enthusiasm. He immediately began a lavish and destructive spending spree. He bought a mansion, which he famously turned into a demolition derby track for his friends. The property was littered with the wreckage of burned-out cars. He spent millions on wild parties, expensive jewelry, and gifts for a constantly changing circle of friends and hangers-on. He was living a rock star lifestyle, but without any of the career or structure that might sustain it. His behavior became more and more erratic. He was frequently in trouble with the law, and his personal relationships crumbled under the weight of his chaotic lifestyle. The money, he later admitted, brought out the worst in him. He was surrounded by people who encouraged his destructive habits, and he lost touch with the reality he had known just a few years earlier. Within less than a decade, the entire £10 million fortune was gone. Every last penny was spent, squandered on fleeting pleasures and reckless decisions. Michael Carroll ended up broke, returning to manual labor jobs to make a living. But unlike our other stories, his has a slightly different ending. He has since expressed no regrets, stating that the experience, while wild, taught him valuable lessons. He found a sense of peace and normalcy in returning to a simpler life, far from the madness of his millionaire days. So why does this happen? Why do so many lottery winners end up worse off than before they won? The answer is complex, lying at the intersection of psychology, sociology, and financial illiteracy. First, there's the concept of sudden wealth syndrome. This isn't a formal diagnosis, but a term used to describe the psychological distress of coming into a large sum of money unexpectedly. Winners often feel isolated, unable to trust those around them, and paranoid about losing their fortune. Their relationships change overnight. Friends and family may suddenly treat them differently, and the line between genuine affection and financial interest becomes blurred. This can lead to profound loneliness and a breakdown of their most important support systems. Then there's the sheer lack of financial education. Most people have no experience managing millions of dollars. Without a team of trusted financial advisors, lawyers, and accountants, they are vulnerable to poor investments, scams, and their own impulsive spending habits. The human brain is also not wired to handle such a drastic change. We tend to suffer from hedonic adaptation, meaning we quickly get used to new circumstances. The initial thrill of buying a new car fades, so the person buys another, and another, chasing that original feeling of excitement. This can lead to a spiral of unsustainable spending. Finally, there is the social pressure. Lottery winners become instant celebrities in their communities. They are bombarded with requests for money, business proposals, and sob stories from complete strangers. Learning to say no becomes a critical, and often incredibly difficult, survival skill. These stories aren't just cautionary tales, they are human tragedies. They show us that true wealth isn't just about the number in your bank account. It's about security, stability, and meaningful relationships, things that money can easily destroy if not handled with immense care and wisdom. The dream of winning the lottery is powerful, but the reality can be a curse in disguise. Perhaps the greatest fortune is not winning at all, but building a life of purpose and contentment, one day at a time. What do you think? Would you be able to handle a massive lottery win? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found these stories as fascinating as we did, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Financial Cake for more deep dives into the world of money and psychology. Thanks for watching.